Welcome back again. COC, STV. This next segment is going to be something very touching. Um, I advise you, if you have triggers that would set you off, that would kind of complicate your life at the moment, please turn us off. Go somewhere else, look at something happy, because what we're about to say and what we're going to touch on is going to be a very sensitive subject. We're hoping that it's going to reach out. Please share this with other people because it's a subject it's becoming every day more and more apparent that mental health is taking tolls on everyone. But this is just the video part. I'm going to let Marcus say a couple of words and then we're going to switch over to podcast. Marcus, please say something because to me it's very sensitive.
So in this segment, we're going to talk a little bit about, or a decent bit about mental health and the importance of it, not just from the top view, but from a deeper perspective, a deeper awareness of it. For the most part, mental health is still a touchy subject for some people, even though it's constantly been explained the importance of it. Like Paul said, we're going to talk about some things that might be a little touchy for some people. By all means, if it does trigger you, if it does hit you some type, or make you feel some type of way, by all means, you don't have to continue listening. Please take a break. Go do what you got to do in order to clear your mind. If you feel like you're up to it, you can come back, or you feel as though like you can handle it, continue on listening. But we just wanted to give everyone a quick heads up before we go on ahead and dive down into this touchy subject.
We're going to now start our podcast. Every day we're coming into a mental health situation. I just got through reading the subject about this father a couple of days ago. Killed his wife, killed his child, and then attempted suicide. So it was a murder suicide. Mental health is something that's very serious, people. From being bipolar to PTSD.
Regardless of the generic or the mainstream mental health issues that you hear every day, bipolar, schizophrenia, just everything. Those are the two, and we have even the smaller little things like disassociation or just high anxiety or just PTSD, like OCD, even for example.
Right.
Like a lot of people don't really see that as a mental health issue, but it is. There's a lot of people with OCD that really can't operate depending on their level, or schizo, or bipolar 1 and 2, or all these different ailments.
Right.
Mental health isn't a blanket term, and we need to be able to see that, be more aware of that, because there every day we see this on the news every day. People are going through something every single day. We're all going through something. Nobody is completely healthy. You might feel like you're healthy. By all means, you could be going through life all perfect in your opinion, to be perfect in your perspective, but it could be something you might be struggling with a little bit.
Right.
It could be something that could be making you feel some type of way a little bit, but that's okay to feel that way because you're human. And if it does reach a point where you really need to ask for help or you really need assistance, please go out there and ask for help. Sometimes, most of the time, people aren't going to have an answer, and that's okay. Sometimes we just need somebody to listen. For us that are going through something, or for those that see somebody's going through something, you don't have to have the answer to help somebody. Sometimes you can just be there. Sometimes you can just show support. That's one small thing that everybody can do. And then, depending on the situation, depending on what's going on, you make the next step from there. Go through the next level, the next course of action. If it's something too deep, if you're struggling with something too deep, try to find proper coping skills, coping mechanisms. If it's deeper than that, try to see maybe if you need assistance with medications, or living assistance, or any other possible solution that might be out there. There are people that are really struggling really hard, either work, school, family, finances, regardless of what they might be. Somebody's going through something and someone might need help. We can be that assistance, or we can help them find that assistance. Doesn't need to be 100%. We force them here and there. It doesn't have to be 1%. We just point out the right direction. But regardless of the effort, regardless of the assistance, we all can be there for someone in need. These days, as Paul was about to go on and explain, these days we're seeing more and more situations on the news, more and more stories about people, murder, suicides, massacres, doing certain like crimes and stuff. Maybe outside of pure logic, maybe outside of honest logic. Maybe it's because A, they're going through something. B, they can't handle it anymore. C, they have no answers. Regardless if it might be, we can't just think of somebody going through something. Can't think of somebody just crazy because we don't understand what's going on. Sometimes we just need to take that 1-2 minutes or how long it might be to really just sit down and really understand somebody. Or you don't even have to go up and talk to them. Really just take a deep breath, sit down and be more mindful of your surroundings to really be aware of what's going on with you, with those close to you, or just random people around you. By being aware of those that are around you will give you better insight on how to help those that you might want to help. Just understanding the human condition can lead to so many different possible outcomes. And in order to get to those outcomes, we need to really be aware and present of what's around us, like from at face value and at deeper level, because we need both these understandings in order to find that possible solution. Going into more depth with mental health aspect, these days we're seeing more and more people really struggling and finding solutions that they think are positive or they think that'll be the right answer, but in retrospect, it's not. In retrospect, it could have been the worst decision that they could have done for themselves as well as those around them. And we need to be more aware of how people are acting, the tendencies that they're displaying, and what can we do as individuals in order to help these certain individuals. Like veterans, first responders, they constantly going through berating situations, whether physically or mentally or emotionally, either at work or at home. And some of them really don't have an avenue to really express themselves. We have general populist individuals like us that honestly going through life, trying to find our own solution on how to get through life. And for the most part, we're always going to find either a solution or we're always going to be stuck in like a impasse. These impasses don't last forever. These ailments don't last forever. These dark times don't last forever. It's what can we do during those times that gets us through it. Because during those impasses, during those trials and tribulations, is what really defines us as individuals as well as us as human beings, uniquely as well as just as a group. Like everything is important. Everything needs to be seen and taken at least some sort of like note upon. You don't necessarily have to be so in depth or thorough about what somebody's doing every single day, like their whole schedule. But if you know somebody, like your friends, your family, and you see like they're not really acting like a
Red
certain
flag.
way, like just ask them, hey, what's up? Like, are you okay? Is everything all right? Like, just asking somebody what's going on can really help so much. Just you contemplating, you inferring, you assuming certain things isn't necessarily the right answer. And most of the time, it won't lead you to the right solution. It doesn't take long to just ask somebody how you're doing. Take it doesn't take you so long to really check up on someone that you haven't talked to in so long. It might seem a little awkward, but if you are honestly curious or if you are honestly like you want to know what's going on or just keep check up, keep tabs, do it. More times than not, they're not gonna really feel some type of way if it's somebody that you care about as well as
Right.
they care about you. Like they're gonna think, oh, I still care, I still matter to this individual. Like they still give a fuck about me. And them having that idea, them having that thought process can really, really help somebody from making the wrong decision. Just the fact that one person still cares, one person still gives a fuck about them will lead to so many new, can lead to so many new and positive answers, different positive choices. All these stories that we see in the news can be avoided. It doesn't have to be so much. The world doesn't have to be filled with so much fucked upness and so much negativity and so much just that. We can make that effort to change it around one step at a time by just asking our neighbor, just asking somebody we care about, how you're doing. Is everything okay? Is there something that I can do to help?
Right.
We don't have to go like so much 100%, but at least give a fuck about somebody that you care about. At least show them that you give a fuck. Even if you don't really care about them like family wise, even if they're just friends or associates, just give a fuck about your neighbor. Give a fuck about your fellow human being. We're getting to a point where we're getting so and so more much and much colder, and we're seeing it in the world what those choices lead up to. All these mass murders, all these massacres, all these sicknesses and this chaos can be lessened or for the most part avoided if we just gave more of a fuck of our neighbor. I apologize for making this segment a little too long, but like me as well as Paul, we both felt like this message needed to be brought across, needed to be conveyed to everyone. Just mental health is important more than you think. Not just from the top down, not just to prevent you from exploding or from doing a physical harm, physical, emotional harm to you, your friends, your neighbor, your spouse, regardless of who it might be. Like mental health is a deeper ailment than we think. And just something as simple as saying hi or just asking someone how their day is can go leaps and bounds to improving someone's state of mind. For the like, just you don't have to listen to me. You don't have to really follow what I have to say, but at least let that sink in your head.
Right.
Let that marinate a little bit and just grow. Like just saying hi to somebody can help. That's all I wanted to say on that
Well,
matter.
let me just add a couple of quick comments and real quick. Um, we're talking about some of the types. I kind of looked it up real quick. There's 4 types of mental health, or main types, let's put it that way. Mm-hmm. Mood disorder, which is depression, bipolar, anxiety disorders, personality disorders, psychotic disorders such as schizophrenia, exactly what you had spoken about. How does mental health impact your life? For those of you who don't know, take a moment and just listen. It affects how we think, how we feel, and how we act. It also helps determine how we handle stress. Yep. Bro, I know I'm one of those people. I don't know how you are. When stress kicks in, it's like it changes your whole life around. I watch it go through with my kids. I watch it go through with my grandkids. Stress is a motherfucker. Stress will kill you.
Yep.
Cause you to have a heart attack. Cause you to think things that you're not supposed to think. A lot of people go through suicidal tendencies because of the stress factors that are in their life. Whether they lost their job, whether they lost their spouse. Not losing death-wise, losing relationship-wise. Can bring someone to the crashing in. Mm-hmm. Loss of their income. Loss of their home. It's so many different stress factors that affects our life on a day-to-day basis that if you're not feeling it, if you don't know what it is, stop. Listen to what we're saying today. If this is a red flag for you, if your spouse, your significant other, your siblings, whoever it may be, if it's not you yourself, your partners, whoever's in your family, if you're seeing these red flags, if you didn't know, please listen to us carefully. Listen to what Marcus said. Listen to what I'm just saying to you right now. There are factors that push people to that point. And as they're getting to this point, their red flags are going up every minute, every hour, every day. that we have a tendency to just shrug it off. Oh, this person's an asshole. This person's going through some shit. This person, this, that, the third. We always shrug it off because we think that it's not my concern. It's not my problem. But it is our problem. Because if it's our sibling, if it's our spouse,
Yep.
if it's our child, understand something. When it's all said and done, they're so far along that they get to that point where they want to take their own life, take their child's life, take their spouse's life. We miss something because if we had caught it in time, we would have saved their life. We would have saved their child's life, their spouse's life. We would have saved someone's life. Because if we had just what Marcus said, caught that red flag and saw what was happening, contacted people. We're going to put it at the bottom of this video that you guys see. We're going to put a link to a suicide hotline. That if you need to call someone, please call. If you're going through it, pick up the phone, call someone. Whether it's your spouse, whether it's your friend, someone. Speak to someone. We want to tell each and every one of you. If you haven't heard it today, I know I love you. I don't know who you are, but know that someone out there loves you.
Yep.
We send our love, our blessings, our prayers to those of you who are going through it.
Regardless of how dark the world might seem, regardless of how far you believe, how deep in the tunnel you are, there's always light at the end. There's always light at the end. Dark times don't last forever. It might seem like that, but it doesn't. Someone always cares about you. There's always someone there. There's always a light. It's just how hard and how strong that we are in order to pursue that light. And who are those that are going to be there in order to push us to get that light? Regardless of whatever we're going through, it's possible.
I just want to say this one last thing. I say it to my kids all the time, brother. I don't know if I said it to you, but I say it to my kids and my family all the time. Remember this one last thing. The devil's going to mess before God's about to bless you. The devil's going to mess every single time before God's about to bless. Just know this darkness that you're going through, it's just the devil's way of testing you to make sure that you can't get that blessing that God is sending your way. So whether it's a new job, new spouse, something, money that's coming into your life, whatever it is, just know that blessing is on its way. Just hold on. Just remember, we do love you, though. Guys, take care. Till next time.
Till next time, everyone. Once again, I want to thank you for joining us and let us know what you want to get across. And always, let's just be nicer to one another. Once again, thank you. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.